Here is the first-person narrative. I used to think my life was just a series of unfortunate events strung together like a worn-out necklace. Each day felt like a weight being added to the pile, one tired hand after another. Unpaid bills accumulated like autumn leaves, blowing in every direction without rhyme or reason. Memories of joy were as elusive as a whisper on a windy night, just out of reach. The only solace I found was in the early morning hours when the city's chaos had died down, leaving me to wander the empty streets, searching for something to fill the hollows within. Sometimes, if I was lucky, I'd stumble upon an old bookshop or a quirky café that would let me sit and collect my thoughts. It was on one of those gray days that I first saw him, a man with a worn-out janitor's uniform and a kind face. He smiled at me as he walked by, his eyes crinkling in the corners like the pages of an old book. In that moment, something peculiar happened. The world seemed to slow down just enough for me to notice the faint scent of freshly brewed coffee wafting from the nearby café. As I stood there, lost in thought, a small piece of paper slipped out of his pocket and fluttered to the ground. It was an employee ID badge, the kind they give you at large corporations. The name Ethan Thompson seemed to leap off the page like a message in a bottle. Who was this man? Why did he seem so out of place among the hustle and bustle? The days that followed blurred together, but I couldn't shake the feeling that our paths were meant to cross again. One evening, as I was leaving work, I saw him standing outside my building, still in his janitor's uniform, still with that kind face. This time, however, he wasn't alone. A sleek black car pulled up beside him, and a bespectacled woman in a power suit stepped out, flashing a bright smile as she greeted Ethan. They exchanged a few words, and then the woman turned to me, her eyes locking onto mine with an unnerving intensity. "Hi," she said, her voice dripping with false sincerity. "I'm Karen Thompson, Ethan's wife. We're looking for someone who can help us with a little project." As they walked away, arm in arm, I felt like I'd been hit by a train. The employee ID badge suddenly made sense. Ethan was the CEO of this company. The weight that had been crushing me slowly lifted, replaced by a strange sense of liberation. It took me some time to process everything, but eventually I found myself standing outside the Thompson Building, staring up at the gleaming glass and steel structure. And then it hit me. The name on the building wasn't just any name. It was Ethan's. He gave me nothing, except everything that mattered. As I walk away from this place now, I realize that sometimes the most unexpected gifts are the ones we least expect to receive.